Good morning. Forgive my robe, but I don't know what I'm gonna do today. I haven't really been making many organized videos, and I'm sorry about that. It's not that I don't want to or what have you. I tend to try to go with the flow of what I feel like needs to, like where my energy needs to go, I guess. And I've had to go out into public and do homeschooling and things with my two eldest children, which involves me taking a bus uptown, and there's a bus exchange. And so I do a lot of people watching during this hour. And the fear level it's through the roof already. And the cold and flu season is just getting ready to start in America. Now, every case will be labeled COVID. It'll be hysteria. And then we've got the election. If it happens, when Trump wins, there will be riots. The programming is very much divide and conquer. Like I posted yesterday, I really feel that we should challenge people to turn off their TV. I bet a lot of people would find that they could not do it. They're probably highly addicted to it and have no idea. If you don't have a TV on, you don't notice all this chaos out here. It's like, why does everybody have a mask on? You know, and I saw a meme yesterday that just makes so much sense. It's not, if people really, really, really thought that there was like this crazy virus that was going to kill them, they would be inside their house, okay? They wouldn't be coming out at all. I mean, the people are wearing the mask not because they're actually afraid of some kind of crazy virus. I mean, it gives them a false sense of security, sure, but it's really that they're afraid of getting in trouble. They don't know what will happen to them if they don't wear the mask. Like, they expect to be publicly ostracized and shamed and things. Now, that occasionally does happen. I had a 450-pound bus driver trying to publicly shame me the other day. That didn't go over well. I didn't say anything to her, nothing rude, nothing nasty, because I had full intention of filing a complaint with her employer, so I wanted to make sure that I looked the part on the camera, and I did. And I guarantee you she got in trouble. Yes, there are some times that I will manipulate to get things done. I mean, it's just, and it's not out of an ill intent by any stretch of the imagination. I don't ever really have an ill intention of anyone. But we're never going to defeat evil or the dark or bad or whatever you want to call it if we just keep brushing it under the rug. Oh, that doesn't exist. Oh, that's no big deal. Oh, let another generation deal with that. When are we going to deal with it? I mean, that's how these problems have gotten so out of control. That is how this small group of people at the top have managed to manipulate billions. Okay, these individuals are brilliant. They have access to technology that we can only dream of. And these agendas are very, very thought out, very, very calculated. I mean, brilliant. I mean, hands down, I'll give them credit. I mean, it's really, but the fact that it is so well orchestrated just tells you that everybody with money and power is in on it. I am convinced that there are a ton of empty vessels here. And I think maybe we're going about it the wrong way. So for the past 4 years, the focus has been wake up others. And we did, and we have done a wonderful job with that. There are people that I never dreamed of awake, okay? But we're at a different stage in this game now, and we need to change our strategy. Those of us that are awake and that are aware, okay, we have to remember this is a realm of duality, and we're being polarized, okay? Very far, very hard push towards the negative, towards the fear, hate, anger, fight your neighbor, all that stuff, okay? Now, scales off balance. We need to balance those back out. So those of us that are awake and aware, we need to stop fixating on doomsday because we're helping create it. We need to think of how can this situation go good. Even if the situation going good ends in this realm being completely wiped by a cataclysm and the good and bad people being sorted and put in new realms. I mean, we can keep our options open here. I mean, there's a lot in between A and B. I mean, but either way, whatever you envision needs to be for the greatest good of humanity or of your being. This realm may have very well been created as a training ground or a school or a type of place to learn where what you think comes true. I mean, it really is. Our thoughts manifest our reality, okay? But when you look around, okay, so when you look around and you see all this negativity everywhere, what does it tell you? That should tell you that everyone is having negative thoughts and that we need to switch that up, okay? And so I do feel that those of us that are awake, especially those of us that have delved all the way down the rabbit hole, and we are now to the point that this is an artificial reality. We are trapped here. How do we get out? Once you get that far, while we are here, we've got to maintain a certain frequency. We've got to maintain a level of it's going to be okay. We are eternal beings. This is just an experience. We are stuck here. How long we'll be stuck here, I don't know, okay? It might be 1,000,000 years, which seems like a long time, but in the grand scheme of things, it really isn't. The thing that the human mind can't really grasp, and I tried to explain this to somebody the other day, and he okay, everybody wants to make the creator into a person, into a persona, because we're people, but the creator just is. It's just a mind, and it's all of us together. We're all the creator. It's as if the creator fractalized itself and let each of us have an individual piece, and then we all create it together, okay? Now, all people here don't have that creator consciousness. If you don't have empathy, if you can't put yourself in someone else's shoes or something like that, you probably don't. But some people are barely still hanging on to the human, and they don't have empathy, and that's due to trauma when they're a toddler, but that's another matter. Some narcissists still are sold, but many aren't. But so a lot of people are empty vessels here, basically. I mean, literally, they do not have a conscience. They don't have a soul. They may have a soul, but because the soul is the vehicle that the consciousness is trapped in. So they may have the soul, but the consciousness inside it is like artificial intelligence instead of the divine creator spark, heart-centered consciousness that truly is the God mind. And humans have a high level connection with the God mind, much more so than a reptilian or something like that. They're all hive-minded, and they think that they're like the supreme beings in the universe because their DNA doesn't evolve anymore. They think that means that they're perfect, but most likely it means that they've been genetically manipulated by whoever created them to keep them in a certain level. But anyhow, and yes, reptilians exist. I'm reading a new book. It's called True Blood Blue Blood, True Blood by Stuart Swerdlow. It's really good. I highly recommend it. It came highly recommended to me from a friend in the Australian Navy that did a bunch of special ops, and he said that's exactly what they were taught. And that's the closest thing he's ever seen to what they were taught. So pick up that book. And it explains how they shapeshift and things, and it makes perfect sense. So, but that's not what this video is about. Okay, so we need to try to focus on making our lives as peaceful and as positive as they can be. We need to just, I mean, whoever you are, I mean, you need to turn off some of this negative programming. We need to try to boost the scales the other way, you know. I mean, like I've been trying to, I do tarot reading, and I've only done it for a year. I've done pendulum dowsing for 5 years, but I've only done the tarot for a year. And so, you know, tarot is a pretty involved thing that you really need to get to learn and get comfortable with. So I've been offering and doing some free readings for people, and I really like spending my energy that way. You know, a good reader will try to uplift somebody. I mean, even if the message that you get is not the easiest message to deliver, there's a way to put a positive spin on it. There's a way to put a positive spin on everything. Sometimes we have to look for it. But, you know, a good reader will try to uplift their customer. And, you know, I don't feel so bad charging for them anymore. I used to, you know, think, well, I hate charging people for this and blah, blah, blah. But it is paying for my time. And I do try to make the readings really involved and make sure you get your money's worth. And I also charge a lot less than other people because I'm not trying to get rich here. I'm just trying to have my basic needs met. I don't want to go back to the rat race full time. I'm considering doing something from home like data entry or transcription, even customer service. I don't know. I'm not going out in public. I'm not wearing a face diaper all day. You know, but I do need to consider the future, and I do need some kind more income coming in. I mean, I get this COVID thing impacted my income. It took away about half of it because I was previously being reimbursed. I was driving people for a company. And I, like 7 days a week, I would take people to the doctor, and I would be paid for that. And that's gone now. Like it's twice a month, 4 times a month that I'm taking someone. So it's been a significant impact on the wages. So I'm trying to find a way that I can seek joy in my life and give people an uplifting reading. So if you know anybody that would be interested in a tarot reading, or, I mean, you know, I'll do your first one half price or free or something. I mean, I still do feel a certain amount of guilt for charging for it, but, you know, I mean, this is a capitalistic society, and I got to get over that. I mean, you know, I have to realize that it is worth, I mean, I am charging for my time. And they're going to pay somebody else anyways. So, you know, to work on our fear. Okay, so we cannot run from evil and expect it to stop. A lot of the reasons that we are in these predicaments that we are today is because generations and generations have just brushed this stuff under the rug. It's like, oh, well, wait. You know, human trafficking, it's not happening to us. Oh, sexual child abuse, not happening to us. Oh, they're probably lying. I mean, whatever it is. I mean, you know, and just this stuff has grown into this monster. Human trafficking is a booming business that affects like over 40 million people. I mean, can you imagine? You know, imagine that being you, trapped in an underground base, never seen the light of day. You were literally bred to be tortured, okay? Now, on the flip side of that, and one thing that I don't see people taking into account very much. The children that are born down there, we don't know what their karma is, okay? We don't know that for example, that one of those children that was born into slavery, into sex slavery, we don't know that that child wasn't a founder of this whole system in another existence. Okay, we don't know that. And it's things like that that is up to the God mind and the higher frequencies. Oh, and back to the God mind. So the thing that I was going to say about that, I get so sidetracked, I'm sorry. The thing I was going to say about the God mind is that we have always existed. We've always been. We will always be. Okay? There is no beginning. There is no end. And humans have a really hard time with that. But that's just how it is. And so we are energy. We change forms. We may be stuck here a very long time. We've been stuck here a very long time. I do feel that the Creator did not know we were stuck here for a long time. It takes, I feel that the information has to make a cycle through the universe, through the torus, through whatever it is. I don't know how long that takes, but like as the information loops back around and goes through the God mind, the all that is, then it recomputes. Like, compute for lack of, I'm not saying it's a computer. It just is. And that's, it, and it's, can't be personified. And any of these beings that people are worshiping, they're taking their energy and they're using it for something bad. Worship would never be required of a benevolent energy. Respect, yes. Worship, no. Okay, so we want to work on fear. The way to do that, you want to work on living in the present. Things like taking meditation are good. You can say screw it to a lot of things in this material world. Like, I learned a few years ago that the only bills you really got to worry about are the ones that keep the lights on. Like, I had a bad time in 2013 and 2014, and I ran up several unsecured credit cards. And it got to the point that I couldn't pay them different things. I was leaving my husband, and I needed money. And, they're unsecured. So, there is no collateral. I mean, they can come after you in court if you don't pay them. But out of like 10 of them, only one did. And, I guess they've all been written off or what have you. I just gave up. I never paid them, and nothing happened. I think if I go to sell my home, there's like a $3,000 lien for the one that got a judgment. But beyond that, the other 60 grand, I just, it is what it is. But that's what people don't comprehend. They're like, well, how can you not get in trouble for that? Well, the whole system's illegal. So, like, it's, you got to take advantage, though, and let the matrix work for you. And I think that's back to where the thoughts control our reality. I needed something to manifest, and it did in a strange way, but it did. And it worked for me at the time. This is war, but it's a war of the mind. And the war is also within ourselves. Balance is the goal. Duality, this whole good and evil thing, that's unnatural. That's not, wherever we're from or wherever we originated, that didn't exist. But it does exist in some worlds. So in a realm of duality where there's good and bad, you need balance, okay? And we're being polarized very much towards the negative. So we need to inject as much positive as we can. And that's doing things like turning off the TV, turning off the programming. The advertisements that I am hearing on the TV, those are just straight up Pavlovian conditioning. It's terrible, terrible. I challenge you to turn off your TV for 30 days. I bet you can't do it. I bet you are more addicted than you realize. And I tell you what, you can watch the news for an hour in a day, but that's it. Other than that, turn it off. See if you can do it. You'll be surprised. Then we've got the, just focusing, where focus goes, energy flows, okay? So we don't want to focus on, oh, these 5G towers are going to kill us all. Oh, these NWO is going to kill us all. Oh, they're eliminating this, they're eliminating that. No. We've got to focus on, well, these towers could be used for good. Or maybe we could envision, blowing them up, something like that. With the whole money thing or whatever, whatever happens. Try to stock up while you've still got money now with food, water, things like that. When disaster comes, money ain't going to matter no ways. It's not going to have any value. Then, you've got, while we're still here, living a relatively normal life, let's try to pursue joy, having fun, relaxing, letting go. I mean, that's what we need. We need more laughter, more upbeat, more, we got to offset this fear that these psychopaths are doing. I mean, I wish every day for less fear in the people, send my energy towards awakening the people to the fact that there is something bad wrong going on with this event, okay? If you're not questioning this event right now, you probably are not human. And realizing that even though it's overwhelming, that the biggest action that you can take is to turn it off. Stop engaging in it. Stop letting it control you. That's how we can win. We need to change the game plan to maintain a higher frequency, those of us that are awake, and realize, there are a lot of newly awakened people, and they're all freaking out, like, oh my gosh, my world's ended. No. It's liberating to be awake once you process everything and once you get the new, paradigm. I mean, it does kind of suck in the sense that, yes, we are slaves here. This is a prison. There is no way out. And I'm talking about Earth and these bodies that are made of cells. Hence why prisoners are put in cells. It is a prison for our consciousness, and we got to figure out how to get out. And that's what we need to be focusing on here, people. We need to get everybody on the same page, or enough of us on the same page. It doesn't have to be everybody. We just need a collective. We can take the rest of you with us. But, I mean, seriously, the controllers are very much using the power of our collective consciousness against us. And it's time that we recognize what that power is and take it back. Have a great day.